Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered if one of those old nickels might be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a 1994 D Jefferson 5-cent nickel could be worth an astonishing $86,907? Yes, you heard that right. A 5-cent coin minted in 1994 could actually be worth more than a luxury car or even a down payment on a house. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating history, rare errors, and high-value reasons behind the 1994 D Jefferson nickel. If you're into rare coins, hidden treasures, or just want to know if you might be holding a jackpot in your hand, you'll want to stick around until the very end. The origin of the Jefferson nickel series. Let's start with a bit of history. The Jefferson nickel series was introduced in 1938, replacing the iconic Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. The Jefferson nickel has seen few design changes over the decades, but one thing that has always captured collectors' attention is the variety of mint marks and unique die errors that occasionally slip through the cracks. The D Mint mark on your 1994 Jefferson nickel means it was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1994, hundreds of millions of these coins were produced. So how can one be worth over $86,000? The answer lies in extreme rarity, die varieties, and collector demand. What makes the 1994 D Jefferson nickel special? Let's get into what makes the 1994 D Jefferson nickel stand out. While the average 1994 D nickel is common and typically worth face value in circulation, a small number of these coins were struck with unique die errors or in pristine mint condition. These rare specimens are what drive the price up astronomically. One of the most sought-after examples is the 1994 D nickel with a full steps designation. This means the steps on Monticello, on the reverse of the coin, are fully struck and sharply detailed with no major marks or interruptions. Full steps nickels are incredibly rare for certain years and mints, and the 1994 D is among the toughest to find in perfect form. Another factor contributing to the high value of this coin is the preservation of the strike. A coin graded by a professional grading company such as PCGS or NGC at mint state 68 or higher with full steps is extremely scarce. Only a handful of these have ever surfaced, and when they hit the auction block, the bids go through the roof. Record auction and current market value. Now, let's talk about that incredible value. One particular 1994 D Jefferson nickel in almost flawless condition, with a superb strike and full steps, was sold at auction for an eye-popping $86,907. This wasn't just a fluke or a bidding war between enthusiastic collectors. This price was based on grade rarity, market demand, and the fact that so few of these exist at that level. As of now, the coin market continues to remain hot, and interest in high-grade Jefferson nickels is stronger than ever. Collectors and investors alike are watching auctions closely, hoping to snatch up the next rare find before it makes headlines. If you happen to have a 1994 D nickel, it's time to take a very close look at it. You might be holding something worth more than gold. How to identify a valuable 1994 D nickel? So, how can you tell if your 1994 D Jefferson nickel is one of the rare ones? First, check the mint mark. If there's a small letter D on the right side of Jefferson's portrait, just above the date, you're in the game. Next, examine the reverse side. Look at Monticello, especially the steps. If all 5 or 6 steps are clearly visible with no wear or break, you might be looking at a full step specimen. You'll likely need a magnifying glass or a microscope to see the details clearly. Finally, inspect the coin's overall condition. Coins that are uncirculated, shiny, and without major scratches, nicks, or tarnish stand a much better chance of being valuable. If your coin looks nearly flawless, it might be time to consider professional grading. Sending your coin to PCGS or NGC can give it an official grade and full steps designation if applicable. A certified coin with a high grade becomes much more attractive to serious collectors and can sell for significantly more money. Why Jefferson nickels are a smart collectible. Jefferson nickels are often overlooked in the world of coin collecting, but that's what makes them such a smart and exciting series to collect. They are still in circulation today, which means valuable finds could be hiding in plain sight, in your pocket change, your piggy bank, or that old coin jar in the garage. The 1990 4D nickel shows that even relatively modern coins can carry significant value under the right conditions. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, it's always worth taking a second look at your nickels. You never know what treasure you might find. If you're holding a 1990 4D Jefferson nickel, especially in great condition, don't spend it. Examine it closely, compare it to known rare examples, and if it looks promising, send it in for grading. It could be your lucky day, and if you found this video helpful or surprising, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content about rare and valuable coins. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable nickel or if you have questions about your coin collection. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next big treasure might be sitting right in your pocket. Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the secrets behind rare coins that could be sitting right in your pocket or coin jar. Today's video is all about a modern marvel in the world of numismatics, the 2002p Jefferson 5-cent nickel coin. You might think this coin is just like any other nickel you come across every day, but hold on. There's a version of this exact coin that has stunned collectors and investors alike by reaching an unbelievable market value of $82,572. That's right, a 2002p Jefferson nickel. The kind you may have ignored or even spent without a second thought has sold for over 82 grand. So how did this happen? What makes this particular 5-cent coin so valuable? And could you be lucky enough to find one like it? Stay with me because we're diving deep into the fascinating history, the striking errors, and the explosive market demand that turned an ordinary coin into a treasure worth thousands. Let's begin with a little background on the Jefferson nickel. Introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel and features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. The reverse of the coin displays his home, Monticello. For decades, this design remained largely unchanged, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. Fast forward to 2002. This was a transitional time in U.S. coinage, just before the Westward Journey series redesign in 2004. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia struck hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels that year, specifically over 650 million. With such high mintage numbers, it might seem impossible for any 2002p nickel to be worth more than face value. But rare coins are never just about quantity. They're about quality, condition, errors, and historical significance. So, what makes this particular 2002p Jefferson nickel worth over $82,000? The answer lies in a combination of rare die errors, flawless mint state condition, and extremely low population at the highest grading levels. Let's break that down. First, the coin that reached this remarkable value was graded as MS69, mint state 69, nearly a perfect coin with only the most microscopic flaws under high magnification. That level of perfection is practically unheard of for a modern nickel that's over 2 decades old. Most nickels from 2002 show signs of wear, contact marks from other coins, or weak strikes. But this one stood out with razor-sharp details, brilliant luster, and a pristine surface that looked like it had just come off the press. Second, this coin features a rare die error that makes it a numismatic jackpot. Experts believe the coin had a dramatic misalignment during striking, possibly a doubled die or off-center strike, which significantly increases its rarity and collector interest. These kinds of mint errors are extremely desirable because they showcase the imperfections of human machinery and bring uniqueness to mass-produced currency. Now, let's talk about the market value. In a recent private sale reported by a top auction house, this rare 2002p Jefferson nickel fetched a staggering $82,572. That's not a typo. It's a record-breaking sale for a modern nickel and a testament to the growing interest in error coins and high-grade modern U.S. currency. Collectors and investors are increasingly turning their attention to modern coins with outstanding condition and unique traits. As older coins become harder to find in uncirculated condition, newer coins with extreme quality and rarity are starting to skyrocket in value. And the 2002 Jefferson nickel is a prime example of this shift in the numismatic world. How can you find one of these valuable coins? The first step is to examine every 2002 Jefferson nickel you come across. Look closely at the mint mark. We're specifically talking about the ones with the letter P for Philadelphia. Then check for sharp strike details, no contact marks, no wear, and strong luster. If you suspect you have a near-perfect coin, it's worth sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and evaluation. Also, be on the lookout for potential errors. Misstrikes, double dies, off-center strikes, and other anomalies can add significant value. Use a jeweler's loupe or a digital microscope to examine the coin up close. You'd be surprised how many incredible finds have started from someone simply taking a closer look. To wrap things up, the 2002 Jefferson 5-cent nickel may appear like a regular coin to most people, but in the right condition and with the right error, it could be worth more than a brand new luxury car. The coin's incredible journey from pocket change to an $82,000 collectible is a perfect example of how everyday items can become extraordinary investments. Before you toss your change into a jar or spend that nickel without a second thought, take a moment to inspect it. You might be holding onto a fortune. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories about rare coins that could make you rich. Drop a comment below if you think you've come across a rare nickel or if you want us to cover another valuable coin. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes on your change. Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures buried in plain sight, your everyday pocket change. Today's episode is all about a modern marvel in the world of coin collecting. You won't believe it, but we're diving deep into the incredible story behind the 2018 mint mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel, a coin that's turning heads and selling for a jaw-dropping $72,546. That's right, a nickel worth more than most cars and even some houses. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn how this seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin has become one of the most valuable nickels in recent history. Let's start with a little background. The Jefferson nickel series began back in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Since then, it's seen a number of design changes and mint mark shifts, but the essential features have remained the same: the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his historic Virginia home, on the reverse. In 2006, the U.S. Mint introduced a modernized portrait of Jefferson, which is still in use today, including on the 2018 series. Now, the 2018 Jefferson nickel was minted in two primary locations: Philadelphia and Denver. The Denver version carries the distinctive D mint mark located to the right of Jefferson's portrait on the obverse. Hundreds of millions of these coins were produced, so at first glance, a 2018 D nickel might seem like nothing special. But hold on, because this is where things get interesting. Among the sea of ordinary coins, one particular 2018 D Jefferson nickel stands out. It has taken the numismatic world by storm, commanding an unbelievable price of $72,546 at auction. So, what makes this coin so valuable? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and an extraordinary error that transformed it into a collector's dream. This specific coin features a rare die error combined with an almost flawless condition. We're talking about a nearly perfect strike with sharp details and no post-mint damage, graded at the top of the scale by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. But what really skyrockets its value is a dramatic misstrike, a double die obverse that causes Jefferson's portrait and the inscriptions to appear doubled and misaligned. Add to that a sharply rotated die and crisp, high-relief details that collectors go wild for, and you've got a once-in-a-lifetime find. Now you might be wondering, How did such a major error slip through the rigorous quality checks of the US Mint? Well, even with modern technology, no minting process is immune to mistakes. Occasionally, a unique error coin gets past inspectors and ends up in circulation. These coins are extremely rare, and when discovered by sharp-eyed collectors or lucky everyday spenders, their value can skyrocket overnight. Let's talk numbers. While most 2018D nickels are only worth their face value of 5 cents, the rare error variant recently sold for an astonishing $72,546 at a major coin auction. That sale made headlines across the coin collecting community and sent collectors on a mad dash to check their own change jars, wallets, and coin rolls. And who can blame them? Imagine finding a nickel in your spare change that could change your financial future in an instant. What should you look for if you want to strike it rich with your own 2018D Jefferson nickel? First, inspect the coin carefully under a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" and "Jefferson's" eye and facial features. Check for sharp details, a lack of wear, and any signs of a rotated die or off-center strike. And if you think you've found something promising, don't hesitate to have it graded by a reputable coin grading service. A high grade is essential to maximizing the coin's value. Collectors and investors are always on the hunt for modern coins with significant errors or ultra-high grades because they're rare and often increase in value over time. The demand for these modern rarities has surged in recent years, thanks to online auctions and growing interest in the coin collecting hobby. A 2018D Jefferson nickel like this is not just a collectible. It's a trophy piece, a conversation starter, and an investment that could deliver serious returns. Before you spend that next nickel, take a moment to examine it. You never know, you might be holding onto one of the rarest and most valuable coins minted in the last decade. The story of the $72,546 nickel proves that treasure still exists in your everyday pocket change. And it's just waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more incredible stories about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And if you found a rare coin in your change, tell us about it in the comments. You could be the next lucky collector whose story we feature. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, your next big find could be just one coin away.